my lovely friends. It is so good to finally be seeing you again. I know you have been so patient with me. It has been over a month. We totally missed March altogether since I've seen you. It's been a really long time. I have just had the craziest few weeks that have just not put me in the right space to be filming, unfortunately. So when I left you last time, we were still in February, and got my book of days. And in February, never would have thought that it was going to be the month that it was. Never would have thought. So February looked really good until the last week. And in the last week, we had two things that just threw me. The first one being a global thing, and that was Russia invading Ukraine, which really has affected me. Like, I just am so heartbroken with the whole situation and seeing so many people in trauma and just lives lost, and I can't even fathom that this is actually happening in this day and age. I can't understand it. I know that I have been yet to find a single person in the world that is all for this war. Nobody wants it. And it just blows my mind. And I wish that there was something that I could do to help. I have been getting on board with buying PDF patterns from Ukrainian cross-stitch designers on Etsy, and that's such a very small thing. And I have, of course, made donations through the Salvation Army for the Ukraine appeal. But really, we're sitting over here, and my biggest concern today is how hot it is, and it's supposed to be autumn. So it is full on. It's just full on. That was a really hard thing. And also at the end of February and beginning of March, where I live in Queensland, in Brisbane, or near Brisbane, we had some major flooding. We had a major flooding event, and while our house was fine, it was at no risk of being like inundated with water. We, just have bad drainage, and it was keeping the water out was still a challenge. We sit fairly high on the hill, but there are people that are higher, and their water runs straight into our yard, which doesn't drain away, which was a little bit stressful. We have had some roof leaking and just minor things in the grand scheme of things, but it was enough that a lot of the roads in and out to where I live were cut off, and schools were closed. My children's schools were both water affected. It was pretty crazy. So going into March, the schools were closed for like a week. It was a bit messy. It really was. I didn't stitch a lot through that time. Like, I did a couple of threads here and there. But yeah, the only thing I really actually did was I had a finish for the winter cross stitch camp, which was run by Colorado Stitcher, and I had chosen to be stitching this one here, which is Clara Hansen, and it is by Hello from Liz Matthews. It is just a PDF version. This is just the cover sheet, because obviously in Australia PDFs are just the way to go. So I managed to get this finished in time, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It turned out really quite lovely. So the details for this one are, I wonder if I wrote it down, because that would make it quite helpful. So this is my finish of Clara Hansen. It's a little bit wrinkled. I stitch in hand mostly, so bit wrinkled. But this one is stitched on 40 count mulberries from Jay's Cross Stitch, which is probably a little bit more pink than what you're seeing on the screen now. Yeah, it's a little bit blown out on the screen, but it's a little bit more pinkish. And yeah, just really, really pretty. I used the called for thread on this one, and I think it turned out beautiful. So I will have to work out how I am going to finish that one up. So I did have one more finish, which I might actually quickly show you now. So this was finished towards the end of February as well. I can't remember if it was actually the end of February or the beginning of March, because I didn't write it down because that week was just a little bit chaotic. But the Contented Stitcher, Kim, and a few other people were hosting a sale for tiny treetops. It was Blackbird Designs or BBD Tiny Treetops sale, and it was actually to stitch something from the Sewing Club book, and it's just here on the back. It was to stitch this small sampler here. I wanted to be involved, but I didn't want to stitch the whole sampler, so I actually just took out this center bit here with the bird, because I love the birds, and I made a little cushion. Now I used 36 count, yes, 36 count antique lace, and I stitched it with most of the called for colors, but swapped a few out because I didn't have them, and just picked something close to it from the stash. And yeah, I made myself this sweet little pillow, and I've just put the year in there. And this is the first time ever that I have filled a pillow with walnut shells, which was a little bit more awkward than filling a pillow with polyfill, but I like the weight of it. I like how it feels. It's not cheap, hey? I can't remember what I paid for it, but I remember thinking, oh gee, that's not cheap. But that's the walnut shell there. And so I just made a little funnel and poured it in, and yep, finish it off with some tilde fabric on the back. And I have this green whiskers trim, and this is from number 12 Stitch Co. And it is in the color Saltbush. I love it. It is just like a tape. I think I've shown this before, but it's like a tape, and you can just stitch it down the middle. And the edges are all like little whiskers. Really pretty, and I love this color. I was really happy with this, and I just feel like it finished it off really, really nicely. And I've just hand tacked that on. It's not glued or anything. I'm not a big fan of glue. I'm a bit messy when it comes to using glue on things. I tend to prefer to sew things down if I can. And yeah, I just think that that is really, really sweet. So happy with that little finish. What else have I got here? Okay, so we're talking about the beginning of this month now. So for the first week of the month, it was a write-off with the floods. Brisbane was just underwater. Our network of public transport was completely useless because we couldn't get through. Roads were damaged. Roads sat underwater for quite a while. A lot of people have been left homeless, while their houses are just uninhabitable. They've got to start again, completely start again, which is really, really hard to wrap your head around, isn't it? To just think, you know, I look around me and see all this gorgeous stuff, and imagine not having it because it went underwater. Like, oh, heartbreaking, just heartbreaking. So yeah, I didn't stitch a lot. Kids all being home, not being able to really go anywhere because, you know, knowing whether or not the water was going to be over the roads. As that all came to an end and things started to go back to normal, I think I'd been back at work for 2 days, and it was, so we went back to work, I think possibly the Tuesday, and I think, oh, gosh, I'm really trying to remember. But I got a phone call at work, and it was early on in the day, like we had just got there, just started, from my son's school, and he had had an accident and he had shattered his 2 front teeth. So just when I thought things were going to go back to normal, I rushed home from work to go to his school to pick him up, take him straight to an emergency dentist appointment. He couldn't have any work done straight away because it was all just too sore, swollen, bruised, lots of open wounds, things like that. It was a bit of a mess. So we waited until the next day, took him back again, where they have kind of added on to what was left of his teeth to make them teeth. Honestly, boys. So, yes, broken teeth. That was in the second week of March. So that kind of threw us there through that second week. He was pretty sore and sorry for himself. And, yeah, we had a lot of trouble eating. We had to do soft foods, and yeah, it was, honestly. But they seem to be okay with the way that they have fixed them. They said that, look, because of the way that it's broken and how they've had to fix it, it could last 10 years, it could last 2 months, it could last a week. So we are going back to the dentist this week just to get it checked up on and see that it's okay. We did have an earlier appointment for earlier this month, but not long after the teeth incident, my daughter, her year level had gone on school camp. She didn't want to go. She's not a big fan of camps. It's a bit much for her. So she stayed home and then went back to school with everyone else, sort of thing. When everyone came back from camp, of course, they all had COVID. And straight away shared it with Katie. She's brought it home. So we had a COVID house. So Katie was quite unwell for 3 days before we had our second COVID case in the house. And that was my youngest son. He got it about day 3. So all up, we had 10 days of isolation because the day you get your positive test in Queensland, I don't know what it's like anywhere else, but in Queensland, once you get your positive test, you stay at home and isolate for 7 days from that positive test. And all of your close contacts, so everyone that lives with you, also has to isolate for that time. So for the 10 days there, it was just stress levels of keeping everyone healthy, because my eldest son, he has lung issues and we do not want him to get it. We just don't. So anxiety was through the roof, trying to keep everyone healthy and get the younger 2 back into good health and not catch it myself, and stress. Then we finally get back to work after this. One day, I was back there one day, and 2 days, I was back 2 days, but COVID had hit my school, and it had hit it hard to the point where we could no longer have classroom setups. It was supervision only. We did not have enough staff to cater for proper learning. A lot of the students were out, but I would say a good 70% of our staff were out. Nearly everyone I worked with is positive. I ended up with a sore throat, and so come home, went and had a PCR test. Just thought, oh, well, the writing's on the wall. I've been around it at home and now I'm around it at work. writing's on the wall. The test came back negative. I did have a bit of a cough, but tested every day, still negative. So there was not related, obviously. It was just some other random germ that I had picked up. And yeah, so so it's been, yeah, that's brought us to now, basically. So this is the first day of the school holidays. It's Monday. I wanted to film yesterday, but yesterday just got away from me. And it's really hard to get back into the swing of it. I don't think I've got everything set up how I normally would, even just to show you. And I don't even know if I'm making any sense today, because it's been so long since I've filmed a video that who knows, honestly, who knows what this is going to be like. I'm going to apologize now because it could be crazy. All right, so I'm going to show you March. And there's a lot of stickers on March. We've got a lot of underwater themed stickers. We've got an injured cat for Mason's teeth. When life gives you lemons. We've got a little skull here for the COVID week. This was not a stitching week. I have got my butterfly and my flowers in yellow and blue for Ukraine because they have weighed heavily on my heart very consistently. I am always thinking of them. But yeah, March proved to be pretty tricky. I did start 2 things in March, however. So the first one I started is actually this one here. It is my very first dimensions kit. And I wasn't sure if I was going to like this because now it's just a little one. It is a Dimensions Petite gold collection. And the size of this one is, I'm sure it told me. There we go, 6 by 6 inches or about 15 centimeters square. And it's fairly full coverage. And it includes everything in the kit. So it's stitched on 18 count white Aida. I haven't done Aida stitching for a while. And to be honest, it was kind of nice to do a bit of Aida stitching. There's no counting extra threads or anything. It was quite relaxing. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So the cards that you get with the threads already on it. Now when you get them, the threads are kind of attached along the top here and you have to cut them off. But because of only stitching with a few threads at a time, I found that awkward. So I actually just hole punched the other side and I have just stuck my threads. I cut them all off and stuck them in that way. And I found that has been a lot easier. But the colors are really pretty on this one. The colors are nice and bright and pretty. I'm really enjoying it. So it's not DMC thread. From what I can gather, Dimensions do their own threads because the numbers are different, which makes me think that if you weren't careful and ran out of a color, you could be in trouble. But I look like I'm going to be fine. And I might even possibly save any leftovers just in case for if I do a future project. I've got some spare threads. I'll show you what I've done. I think I've done quite a bit. I do have a random loose thread here because I've been doing a bit of back stitch. But I'll put this on here so you can see it. Oh, I just pricked myself with a needle. So that's what I'm up to. Isn't it sweet? So I've been trying to kind of do as much of the back stitch as I can as I go, because it just is so pretty to see it all come together. So I'm really, really loving this. It is not a fast stitch. Dimensions seem to be quite confetti heavy. You're changing colors a lot. But I think because it's on Aida as well, I don't know, I just have found it so relaxing. To the point where I have actually bought myself another Dimensions kit, which I will show you later on when I show you all the things that I have purchased. I've done a lot. Obviously, online shopping was what kept me going because I've bought a lot of things. So that was my first start that I did. The next start that I did was, let's see if I can find, here we go, was a pattern that I had bought at the start of the pandemic, but didn't really feel connected to it to stitch it. Just, I wasn't feeling it, even though I loved it, until COVID entered my house. And then all of a sudden, this Scarlet House chart called A Changed World really spoke to me. So this is a really cool little chart. I won't be stitching all of it because I am not a big fan of this big black thing here. So I'm thinking I'm actually going to cut out this whole bit here and just bring this border up and just make it more of a short, stumpy little chart. That's what I'm thinking I'll do. Although I really love these birds, but I don't know how I would fit the birds in otherwise. So, and I do have, there are birds up here. Anyway, I'll show you what I've done so far. Now this has got none of the called for, just what I have that's close, because obviously we were in isolation and it just had to be things that I had. And a lot of it's not even DMC. A lot of it is actually Sullivan's, I think it was what it was called, threads. Because when I used to do embroidery, just for fun, I bought a lot of that because it was slightly cheaper than DMC, and of course didn't write down any of the numbers. So I don't even know what they are. Some of them could have been DMC. Who knows? But anyway, I'll show you what I've got so far. This is what I've done. The world has changed and so have we, learning to be still, yearning to be free. That is where I'm up to. So I've got the row of houses to do underneath that, and then I think I'm just going to close off that border. And yeah, that was stitched in isolation. All of that was stitched in ISO. Yeah, really like it. I didn't think that I was going to actually stitch that, but it goes to show you, doesn't it, when it has a bit more of a personal reason to be stitched, we stitch it. So let's put that over there now too. Oh, I just dropped my thing. Okay, what else did I work on this week? I only worked on 2 other things and I didn't work a lot on them, to be honest. I did a little bit of work on the Needleworker, and this is a bit crinkled, sorry. Is one that I had started. What is it actually called? It's called My Needles Work, and it is by Little House Needleworks. I have done another Little House Needleworks one, which was Home of the Needleworker, which I really like. Haven't framed it yet. I'll have to get onto that when I like that. I did change the dress because I didn't want a brown dress. So this is mine. Really like it. Yeah, it's not far off. So I sort of did the vines at the bottom over here. That's kind of all I've done. Just, it was a nice easy one that I didn't really have to think about. There wasn't a lot of counting. Yeah, so that was some work on that one. That will be a finish very soon. That's very easy. And then I am behind with my Queenslander Sampler from Lily Pilly Stitches, or Lily Pilly Designs. And I'm going to put the picture up of what I'm supposed to be up to. But I'm not. I'm behind. I haven't even finished February. So that's where I am. I've done January. I've done pretty much all of the house of February. Just a little bit more to go. And then the word February. And I've done none of March because March was not my friend. March was not my friend. So I need to play catch up a bit on that one, but that's okay. It will get there. But otherwise that's it. That's all I've worked on. I still have not filmed our video for our bunnies. So these are the Tilda bunnies. This will be my next sew along video. I will hopefully get to this video in the next couple of days, and then post it up. So, but it'll be up before Easter. I promise I'll get it up before Easter. I just needed to get back into the swing of things a little bit, but they're very cute, aren't they? And they're very sweet and small. So I will get that video up as soon as possible. Okay, what else have I got to share with you? All right, let's do some haul. I think around Christmas time or early January had ordered from Number 12 Stitch Co. A mystery bundle of fabrics, of linens, and Australia Post lost it. They lost it. I waited and waited and waited, and I was just hoping that they would appear magically, but no, they lost it. So they ended up refunding the money for the package because they had lost it. And I jumped straight back onto Number 12 Stitch Co. Onto their Etsy store and bought myself some more fabric. So it's not a mystery bundle, which is a shame because I kind of liked the idea of a mystery bundle. But I bought myself this gorgeous green. This is called Woodland Pine. It's 40 count. And it is so lovely, that color. And I know exactly what I want to stitch on this one, but I won't be starting it this month. And I'm pretty certain it's because she just felt a little bit sorry for me because I was just waiting for so long for my fabric. But she was lovely enough to include this gorgeous little needle minder, which I love. It's like a little timber postage stamp. Very fitting considering Australia Post lost my fabric. So I'm so happy with that, and I can highly recommend the fabric from Number 12 Stitch Co. I have used it for a lot of projects, and just it's white art based and just beautiful quality. The colors are just gorgeous. I love stitching on it, so highly recommend. So that was a purchase. Next purchase. I had purchased this, and I think I showed you last month, but I can't be certain, but I think I may have. And this is Mrs Campbell. Mrs Campbell is a Hands Across the Sea sampler chart, and it is divine. Look at that border with the hearts. I'm all about the hearts. It has birds. I'm all about the birds, and these flowers. So gorgeous. This does have some specialty stitches, but nothing like crazy. Nothing crazy. I think I can handle it all. And I love this so much. So much that I thought that this would actually be the project that I use silks for the very first time. I have never used them before, and I wanted to make sure that it was a project that I knew I was going to love. And because I think this one has all those hearts and flowers and birds, which are all three of my favorite things, this was the project. This was the winner. So I contacted a Stitching Time down in Tasmania and asked for their help because I have never used silks before, don't know what to buy. Was a little bit overwhelmed by it all, and they were fantastic, and they packaged up my silks for me. Now these are, I might butcher this, Soie d'Alger silks, or Soie d'Alger, or I don't know, I can't, I'm Australian, I butcher everything. So I love the sheen on these. I don't know if you can tell in the packaging, but I don't really want to take it out of the packaging just yet. But the sheen on these threads is beautiful. Ah, just can't wait. So I'm thinking for this one, I want to give it a day, a start day. You know how you kind of have the special momentous days that you start things on? And I'm thinking I am actually going to start this either on Mother's Day. Mother's Day in Australia is in May. So it's either that or I'm going to hold out and start it on my wedding anniversary. So my wedding anniversary is pretty special because it is also my heart day. It is the anniversary of when I had my heart surgery, which was my life-saving surgery from a congenital heart disease birth defect that I had and didn't find out about until I was pregnant with my 4th child. So it's a pretty special day. We call it my heart day because it's the day I married my husband, who I love with all my heart, and it is also the day that I have my heart surgery anniversary as well. So the hearts on this, which is kind of what draws me to it, may see me starting it then. Oh, I just love it so much. Love it so much. Okay, so I do have some other haul. Now these two are from the Cruel Goblin. So the first one I got was this one here. This is called Dutch Rose Garden. And it's by Samplers Not Forgotten. And I love the motifs in this. This will be one that will take a while as well. But how beautiful. So beautiful. So I'm looking forward to starting that one. I don't know when. And the next one I found, this was a market release. It's the only market release that I have bought so far. I will spread it out a little bit, but my other stores that I buy from, they don't have any in stock yet. So when they do, I'll buy a couple of other things. I just want to be able to support all of my, well, they're not local needlework shops, but they're the ones that I buy from online. I don't have any local ones. I shop online. So this is what I got here. This is Humming of the Bee by Blackbird Designs. And it is gorgeous. We have got a selection of beautiful birds. We have got a little beehive here and some flowers. Look at this peacock and this gorgeous red house. What is not to love? So, so cute. I am going to have so much fun stitching that one up. So they are two that I got from the Cruel Goblin. And then because I have really enjoyed doing the dimensions small kit that I have, I wanted to get another one. And I saw this one here and it reminded me of my childhood. I'm going to tell you a little story. So growing up, my grandmother used to go ballroom dancing, and she would have these incredible petticoats and dresses with all of the lace and all of the tulle and all of this, and they were like Cinderella dresses, big princess dresses, just gorgeous, every little girl's dream. And after she would do her competitions, she would keep all of these dresses and we would use them for dress-ups. We would use the old ballroom gowns as dress-ups. When I say we, it's me and my cousins. So I have got some lovely cousins sprinkled all around the globe. My cousin Karen and I, she lived in Melbourne at that time and would come up for Christmases and things like that. And when she did, we just would spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours dressing up in these dresses and playing our princess games. And it was just one of those memories that just, you know, really, really lovely memory. She now lives in Tasmania, so she's still far away. But I saw this pattern and it just reminded me of the two of us as little girls. And I know that these are ballerinas, but you could almost imagine them to be ballroom dresses. So, and I feel like this one was more me with the darker hair and she was more blonde. And I just feel like that this is just us. It is just us as little girls in our little dream world. So I had to get this one. So this kit is called Ballerina Dreams, and it is a Dementia's Gold collection. It has got all of the threads in the back here, which I will just do my usual hole punch thing because I like how that's working for me. It's got included, it's got the cotton thread, it's got 18 count ivory cotton aider, and it also includes a needle, but I may change that out because I like my own needles. But I just can't wait to start that. So once I've finished my small dimensions, I'm going to give this a go. It is full coverage. It is completely full coverage. And it looks like it's a mixture of half crosses, full crosses, a lot of back stitch, possibly some couching. I don't see any French knots or anything though. But I can't wait. I just can't wait. I feel very emotionally attached to that already, which is a bit special. So I think that's pretty much all I have got to chat with you about. I have probably forgotten so many things, but because it has been just crazy, like super crazy, I've just been staying afloat. Really, that's the best way to describe it. I have just been treading water and keeping afloat. This last 5 weeks, it's been just really draining. Like when a lot of things happen like that, it's amazing how it makes it very hard to do more than just what's necessary. I found that I was just getting through days, getting to the end of each day and just thinking, oh well, thank goodness that we did it. We did that day. Let's go to bed and do tomorrow. That's kind of where I was at. Things seem to be hopefully looking up a little bit. I'm on school holidays now, and if we can just keep COVID out of the house, we've had enough scares of it in the meantime. We just need to have a bit of just normalcy. Just a little bit, you know? Okay, now last video we did have 2 giveaways and we are going to quickly do that now. I don't have another giveaway for today because I haven't been able to organize anything, but I do have the 2 from last week. So the first one was the charm quilt on point, and the word for that one was charm. So if you wanted to enter that one, you use that word. And then we also had a cross stitch pattern, and this was lucky notes, and the keyword was lucky. So we are going to draw those now. Let me grab the iPad. So the winner of our charm on point quilt pattern is, oh, is it going to show it? Lisa Heights. Congratulations, Lisa. I'm just going to screenshot this. Okay, so I've screenshot that. You'll see it up here now. Lisa has said, love your video. I feel so lucky that you share your beautiful stitches. I am stitching the stitchy love and know it will sew like a charm. Congratulations, Lisa. I will comment on your comment, and if you could please email me through the email in the description box, and I will work out how to get you your prize. And so the next one that we are going to draw, and so the winner for the Lucky Notes cross stitch pattern is Kim Morticia, and I'm going to screenshot that, Kim. There we go. So you'll see it up here. Kim Morticia, well done to everyone who has made the animals. Yes, well done to everyone that made those animals. I don't have any photos to show you because I literally just pulled together some stuff to film. I just wanted to film a video, but there have been more makes, and please go and have a look at everyone's makes on Instagram. But Kim says, well done to everyone who has made the animals. I think your tutorials are like a lucky charm for sewing. I hope you are feeling better You do sound a little croaky, but your smile is as bright as usual. Oh, well, that's lovely, Kim. Yes, I had a sore throat last video too. I remember that. But congratulations, Kim. I hope you do enjoy that. I had wanted you to get it before St. Patrick's Day, but obviously that is not going to happen. The last giveaways have all been sent out. I did get a warning for the winners overseas that it may take quite a while to get to you. So hopefully you won't wait too long, but because I don't want to spend the money for express postage, unfortunately you get the slow postage, but they will be coming. And hopefully if you have one from me and you're in Australia, you already have your prizes. I don't know where these ones are going, but if they do go overseas, just know that it may take a while because I use slower postage just because I pay for it out of my own money. And yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully I will be able to do more giveaways with you soon. I don't have any at the moment because I haven't been able to really leave the house or do anything much. It has just been a crazy time. I am getting very, very close to 1,000 subscribers, which blows my mind completely because I can't believe people actually watch. Honestly, I love it. Oh my goodness. I so appreciate you all so much. I have had so many people reach out to me and check on me and make sure everything is okay. And I cannot tell you how just loved that makes me feel. It's just, our community is so good. The creative community is just wonderful, and having you all here and all commenting and sending me private messages and messages on Instagram and emails, and it's just, every single one of them is so special. It's just, and I read them all and I love them all. I do try to comment on all of the comments. Sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to get back to videos, and when they're older videos it takes me a bit to find the comments, but I just want you to all know how much I appreciate you all, and how phenomenal it is to have this little family of people that just through making videos in my room in here about things that I'm making, which, you know, it blows my mind. You're all amazing. You are just all so amazing. And I just appreciate you so much. If I can get to 1,000 subscribers, I will definitely plan to have a nice big giveaway for that one, I think, because that would just like be amazing. I can't even, that would just be amazing. Little old me over here. Gosh, it's crazy to think about. I try to talk about crafty things with my family and their eyes kind of glaze over. But here you all are. It's fabulous. It's just fabulous. Okay, I'm going to go now. I'm going to try to edit this today and get it up as soon as possible, and film the next sew along as soon as possible and put that up as well, so that we can all make some little Easter bunnies for Easter. And I will see you next time, and I'm hoping that it won't be so long next time, because April is a fun month and I have got some things that I want to get done this month, and yeah, it's going to be a fun month. We're going to have fun. March is gone. March we're going to forget about. It did not appeal to me at all, but this month is going to be a good one. I'll see you next video. Bye, friends.